Oh my god. Cha-ching. Do I have a problem? I'm fine, so no, I don't think so. Right, welcome to my grocery haul. As you can see, I found a bargain stumbling around the shops. I went to Pound Stretcher, which is kind of like a dollar store here, bargains and things. And they had these Harvest bars down to 29p. These are actually discontinued now, and I've been badgering them, asking them for them to come back, which doesn't work. I work in the industry and I know that does not work, but I was just frustrated. And obviously they've sold off their end of the line to Pound Stretchers. You can get, I think, 4 or 5 for like £5 each. So 29p for a discontinued product. Yes, I did strip the shelves. I ain't sorry. Delicious. Well, not, I left some for other people, but you know, I did take quite a lot. So delicious. I've already had one. Lovely. So anyway, okay, I might as well stay with my bargain shop haul at Pound Stretchers. I also picked up some of these roast peppers. I thought they might be nice, quite different and a bit nice. And that is the net carbs there per 100. So I'd have a little spoonful probably on a plate. I also got some of this biltong from Heron, 3 for £1, which is very cheap. I didn't go down the buying everything route because I bought all of that stuff before and it took me ages to eat it. So, but these are, I'd rather have these than chocolate. I just like them. I also picked up some jalapenos with peppers, again from Pound Stretcher, and 3 packs of these Let's Cheese. These were on the clearance section, so I don't think they're going to get those again. So I thought I'd grab them while I could. Moving on to Sainsbury's. Now, Sainsbury's yet again have had an issue with my delivery. They have had an issue with every delivery pretty much for the last 3 months. Something's missing, something's wrong, always substituting stuff that I'm not happy about. And today it was an exploding packet of cream. But I wanted the cream, so I said, just give it to me. And they gave me refunds on, you know, about 5 different things. So sorry. So I've got some chicken, just for things like my partner might want to stir fry or something in a week. That'll be for him. Mostly for the kittens, but I might swipe some of that. These are cheeses which are actually now covered with cream because it leaked everywhere. So I'm going to clean those up in a minute. I've got some ground almonds, some seed mix and some chia because I'm going to be making those crackers again this weekend. And I've also grabbed some pate, this time in a little pack rather than one of those oval foiled things because it's a bit more convenient. So I'll be having pate and crackers this week. I grabbed some chicken drum fillets. They look pretty good. These are not the burgers I wanted. They substitute them out with ones with higher carbs. The ones I picked had a 1 carb each. These ones have over 3. And I didn't notice. So, but that's for dinner tonight. So I'm just having cheeseburgers, bunless cheeseburgers, bacon cheeseburgers probably. And yeah, so that's, my carbs aren't going to be too high. So that's okay-ish, but not what I wanted. I've got some coconut milk for a recipe with this aubergine. This aubergine is not as big as I planned it to be. I thought it was bigger than this. So I'm going to swap out my meal planning. It was going to be a lunch thing, but I think it's going to be a couple of meals instead. So I'm swapping that out. So it's a coconut milk and aubergine dish. And I've got my Dr. Peppers, my innocent almond milk, got some nuts, got some cauliflower rice because I'm going to be making, with the chicken thighs, some homemade Nandos with peri-peri sauce. I'll have cauliflower rice. My partner will have Mexican style rice. I was gonna, well, I bought halloumi, and again I substitute it out with one with the higher carb content, the light version. So I'm not happy about that, but there you go. So I'll be having halloumi with mine, bacon for those cheeseburgers and anything else. Got some this for, most likely my partner will have this for his sandwiches. And I've actually got a nice little candle as well. It does smell real good. So that is my haul for the week. I'm going to rejig my meal plans, I think, because this is not quite as I had hoped. But I will make it work, I'm sure. And I'll catch up with you with my meal plans. So I've got a project this weekend to sort out all of my clothes that I've got like in storage, I guess. They've been put away, put in big bags for life and just shoved in the corner where they haven't fitted me anymore because I've outgrown them. Going through those with the help of my helpers and just seeing what just realistically in 6 months, after 6 months, and just separating them out. So I've got like a more of a goal bag of stuff that's on the cusp. And if there's anything in there that might fit me now, that'd be quite nice. And anything specifically for holiday, because we're going to Mauritius in 9 weeks. So that's another thing to bring out as well. So yeah, with the help of my kittens, I'm going to go through this weekend to see if I've got any sort of free clothes. So I've sorted out some clothes. These are all the things that didn't fit me, but do now fit me. So I've got free clothes. So I am very happy about that. So I'm just going to sort out, I've still got my actual wardrobe to sort out yet, of things that are a bit too big for me now, or just look tatty. So I'm going to do that probably tomorrow. And these are the things that I think will fit me within the next 6 months. They actually fit me, or they're just not quite as loose as on the tummy area as I would like. So yeah, but I'm going to put them separately because I think they're my 6 months by the end of the summer. Good morning, it's Sunday, and I've got to go and collect a parcel for my partner. He's not very well. And so I'm going to pop into Aldi because I also didn't get my eggs this week. I completely forgot about them. So I'm going to get some eggs, check out the stickers, obviously there might be nothing, and come back and make a start on my meal prepping. Hey Mr. Mallard, Mr. Duck. Hi guys, before I go on, yes, I have changed my channel name. I'm now Jackie Does Keto. I just felt like I needed a real good change. I'm feeling positive and motivated. So I just thought, let's go for it and just change that name. I've got all my updated Instagrams and Twitters below as well if you want to subscribe. My Fitz Pal, and I think my Fitbit as well if you want to add me. Love to hear from you. And just wanted to say that before I forget. So I popped to Aldi and to B&M. I grabbed another pack of this thyme fillet. I've decided I'm going to cook double today of my peri-peri chicken. So I've got meal planning for the week. I grabbed some sausages only because I was on red sticker. I think there's like 3 carbs per 2. So I'll probably have a couple of those and cook the rest. And for my partner to have in a roll. 4 of these little coconut milks, which are really handy for making curries. These are from B&M, 4 for £1. So they're a handy size to have just to make a very small, single serve curry. My 2 favourite elderflower sparkling waters from Aldi, and just a dozen eggs. And I've got some beauty stuff, flossy things, multivitamins, and a facial scrub. The eggs are a go-go. I was as gentle as I could and they're all cracked. I think it's just a not bad batch, but eggs, as the chickens get older, their shells get thinner. So I think maybe just the chickens weren't the best. And I've got my little meal prepping list to work off today. I've got my crackers, my eggs, pork casserole, and then we're having dinner tonight at homemade Nandos with cauliflower rice and halloumi. So I think I'm going to crack on with the cats breaking stuff and get on with my crackers. So meal planning time. I've got my meal planner here. This is from Life and Apples. This is what it looks like normally. I obviously am a planning person and I love playing with stickers and things. So planning the week's a bit wibbly wobbly this week actually, because kind of threw off my game, but I think I've got my plan now. So I prepped a few weeks ago some radish hash browns. They're in the freezer. I'm going to be having one of those for breakfast. Nice hearty breakfast. I always have to take into account the shift that I'm working on. So next week I'm working the late shift, which means starting at 10 and finishing at 6. Doesn't sound, it's not late to most people, but sometimes I'm still up at 6 in the morning, so 6:15, and I'm not home till 7:30 at night. So I try to bear it in mind, how hungry am I going to be and how hungry I'm going to be. So I'm having a radish hash brown, they're very heavy and filling. Just my usual nuts, cheese, and a meaty stick thing I've got on the side as my snacks throughout the day. I'm going to go back to make my crackers. I'll show you the recipe in a moment. It's a boiled egg, and I've got those 7,000 Harvest bars. I'm going to throw one in my bag. If I feel like I need it, I'm going to have it. Probably will, because I'm going to the gym tomorrow, so I probably will want it. I'm thinking tomorrow night, I've got lots of odds and ends in my fridge. I've got that little bit left of that mackerel. It smells okay, so I'm going to have it. I've got a little bit of salad left, some pickles, a boiled egg, scraps, fridge scraps. So I'm having a scraps night tomorrow night. I'm making leftovers tonight of my evening meal, which is homemade peri-peri chicken, or Nandos if you live in the UK, with cauliflower rice and halloumi. So I'm going to make 2 of those. I might freeze one. I'm also making this pork casserole. Now the reason why I'm a bit questionable about it is because 1, it's supposed to be chicken. 2, I think they've given me enough. I under-ordered enough aubergine or eggplant for the recipe. But I have got sprouts, so I'm not sure what kind of quantity it's going to spit out at me. So it might be I'm having 2 Nandos cauliflower rices and only, 3. I'm not sure. I think next Saturday I'm going to do a chili and probably just do a bourguignon roast chicken next Sunday. So there's my prepping list. I've got my crackers, my boiled eggs, which you've already seen. That is called it's actually a dairy-free creamy casserole. And those sprouts, which I'm going to chop up in a minute. The recipe I'm going to follow for my crackers, I printed it off really tiny, but I can read it. It is by Perfect Keto. It's a really good website. I looked at about 15 different cracker recipes for keto, and all of them took a really long time. I'm really lazy. And I can't be asked. I'm real bored. I get bored easy. And these ones don't. I think they take 20 minutes, if I remember rightly. 15, 20. So I printed off a bit small. And I had made them before, and they were really good. And someone else who watches also made them, I think, or either on my Instagram, and they said they were really good too. So I'm really pleased. I'm going to follow the recipe, but I'm also going to add in just a few nuts and seeds to give it a little bit of texture. I'm having that with pate, and the recipe I'm following for this creamy chicken and eggplant, I'm actually doing pork, and in the UK we call them aubergines, as in the colour. This one says serves 4, but I've kind of got my proportions out the wrong way. I can't remember this is by, because the bit at the bottom says Meadowvine Foods, which I think is a trading name. I will link it below. It'll be some recipe website. It's not Diet Doctor. I can't remember. But I'm going to do my best to half-arse follow this, see what it spits out, make my crackers on my parchment paper. And yeah, and then I'll also show you how my crackers turn out. So if you didn't see in the video before, what they look like. I forgot to add, this is actually a double portion, because I'm going to make a couple of weeks worth, because I think they head up really well in the fridge. I also added in some garlic, because garlic is the 3rd condiment. So I'm going to roll these out on the parchment paper to put on the trays. I'm kind of low on parchment paper. I needed a bit more. So I'm kind of buggered, but we shall prevail. And yeah, this should give me, it's 35 portions per recipe. I've doubled it, so 70 crackers, and for 5 crackers it's 1.5 carbs. So, and then they're tasty and they're good, and that's enough for a snack. So I'm going to start rolling these out and get them in the oven. So I'm going to pop these in on the bottom, because the next batch will be about 5 minutes behind. I'm doing 2 batches. I'm going to cube up this pork. I've got the aubergine, which is about half what the recommendation of the recipe is. So it's only 250 grams rather than 500. But I've got these sprouts here. Got them on yellow sticker. They look good to me. And the rest of the ingredients, I can't go into too much about the volumes and things, because it isn't my recipe. I'm borrowing it from someone else. But I have put in a freaking ton of butter. So I'm trying to get my fats up. Even though I'm chopping this up, I don't like animal fat. I want to, because it makes my life easier, but I just don't really like animal fat. So I'm adding that in instead. So I think I'm going to chop all that fat off as much as I can. Make the recipe. I'll pop it in the oven. It doesn't say how hot or how long, really. It's I think it's 20 minutes, but not how hot. So I was going to put it on 5. I'll probably cook it for about 45 minutes, because I want that pork to be soft and not chewy. I'm using Italian herbs. Also lots of garlic, obviously. I'm also probably going to throw in, so that's just mixed herbs. I'm also going to put in some Italian. It did say parsley, but I think parsley sucks. I don't like it. It's bullshit. So I'm going to do that. And here's my crackers cooling. I actually cut these with a pizza cutter before they went in. Look, they're all naturally just pulled apart. So how fab are they? Really happy with the way they've turned out. Let's go. Yep, nice and firm. Very, very nice. I'll be stealing one of those as a sample. So I've got 2 trays. They're going to be out cooling in a minute. So I'm going to crack on. So the pork, the Brussels sprouts and the aubergine or eggplant are in with quite a lot of garlic and that butter. So much fluid coming out there. They're not really browning, but it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to add in, now the original recipe did say to use cherry tomatoes, but I haven't got any. I don't like tomatoes, but I will eat this, so I'm going to put some of that in instead. I'm going to throw my herbs in and coconut milk and my salt and pepper, and then I'm going to put it in the oven low and slow, I think, for maybe number 5. So I'm just marinating in here. I didn't have any peri-peri seasoning. I thought I did, but I don't. Actually, I think I do have it, but I think I may have misplaced it. So I actually use some jerk seasoning. It's all good. It's very similar, garlic and herbs and chili seeds. So we love jerk chicken. We love peri-peri chicken. So I think my flavour palette will forgive me for mixing them up a little bit. So this is just a boneless, skinless thighs. There's a little bit of fat on it, which is going to be nice for flavour. I'm going to leave them for marinating probably for about an hour before I just pop them in the oven just to get nice and quite hot, because it's like I don't want it to get dried out too quickly. So I'll be doing this with my cauliflower rice and some halloumi, which I will grill. Okay, so this is how I do my cauliflower rice. I will grab a bag, which is typically, most shops here, a 300-gram bag, which helps for 3 portions because that's about right for this size. I grab that and 100 grams of mixed vegetables, which when I mix it all up together with some garlic powder and salt and pepper and all that jazz, or any flavourings of your preference, if you're going for Spanish style or Chinese style or what have you. I'll just go for garlic, keep it versatile. Mix it up, divide it by 3. I'm not going to pre-cook it, because once I heat it up, I will cook it at that point. It will steam. Just keep the lid on fairly tightish to whatever Tupperware you're using to help steam it. And that's it. So with the cauliflower rice and some veggies, it will be about 5 carbs. So it's pretty nice, and the vegetables will make a real nice flavour with it. I clearly need to put a few more veggies in there. So that is how I do my cauli rice. So 5 minutes before the end, we're just going to put some marinade on there. I've got some of this and a big bottle of that. The carbs are a lot lower in this one, but I only use a little of that just to get it all juicy. So I'm going to cover all this and that, flip it all over, pop it in for 5-10, and just to get it all nice and juicy and flavoursome. And this is what my plate looks like. I'm going to pretty much recreate this for my lunch boxes, which I'll show you at the end. So chicken, I've got my halloumi, got that cauliflower rice and some sauce from there. I am going to grab some sour cream though, because I think it's going to blow my head off. And we are done for the week. So looks pretty damn good, I have to say so myself. So I've got my tray of couple of weeks worth of crackers at least. Say 5 of these is 1.5 carbs, so these are going to be really tasty, and you see, really good crackers. I've just got my eggs for the week for snacking on. I've got 2 of my Nandos style chicken with some halloumi there, and that cauliflower rice that's garlicked and herbs, or garlicked, and there's plenty of chicken there as well, so I've got 2 of those for the week. And I've got my 4 pork casserole with aubergine or eggplant, and Brussels sprouts, and a side portion of broccoli, which I'll probably put butter on and all that stuff. I might just freeze 2 of these though, see how I go. But yeah, so really chuffed. I think this works out to be about 8 carbs. I think I worked out 9.5 for these for me, which worked out my macros really well. And that is all I've got for you this week, guys. Hope that's been helpful. Please consider liking and subscribing. I really do appreciate, and share and all that stuff. Check out my links below. I'll put the links to any of the recipes I've used. Also some items that I use with in my kitchen, if you want to have a look at those things too. Yeah, I really do appreciate all your kindness, support and lovely comments. Hope you have a fabulous week. I'll see you real soon for my weekly weigh-in and for my 4 day of eating all this stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one.